Hello, this is Lena making bespoke craft designs. I'm still working on my autumn journal. I'm going to do something for this page, quite a vibrant one. So it wants something just very plain on there. So this is maybe where I'll go with, oh yeah, these would look lovely on here because these are from the Artymaze kit. These would just look really nice with that background. Let's have a look what we've got. And that would look nice on that busy background that I had. It's really good. Back this because I need it to be a little bit stronger. Oh, that's Oscar telling somebody off. But you see what I mean? If you're looking at your pages and then you decide what you're going to do, sometimes when they're as busy as this, if you do it without your book there, or this is what I find anyway, when I then go to put them in, I think, I'm not really sure. I mean, if you're using all of somebody's kit, then they're already coordinated. But if you're using your own pages, your own bits, then sometimes they're not. But I really like that. I think that really does fit in with that. I like that. So that's just how I wanted to do it. I just wanted to use my journal just to be able to see what I wanted to do with this. This is encyclopedia paper, and it is just so strong and thick. But the only thing is, if I'm going to use this, sometimes what I tend to do is keep the edge around it. Just keep a bit of the edge. So I think that's what I'm going to do on this one. This is lovely and thick. I was just looking at that. I just happened to see this. It's a deer, and it says a red deer stag, and I think I'm going to save this because I'm going to put that in here. I'm going to make that into a tall tag because I've just seen that. I just thought, oh, I'm going to use that in here. So I'm going to pop that to one side, ready for something else. Strange, isn't it, how you just find something that right, that was the side I was using for this one. I just wanted something a bit more continuous. But these make lovely bookmarks because they're already in columns, so they really help you make a nice bookmark. That's what I like to use those for. Right, but on this occasion I'm just going to have this around here, but maybe the column, I don't think it's going to cause me a problem. I just need to cut this edge off a little bit. Hello, Oscar. The door is open. Go on, going outside if you need to go outside. The door is open. So I am just he just looked at me then as if to say, do you realise it's raining out here? Telling me to go out. Yeah, so this is nothing that you haven't seen 100 times before, but I just think when you see somebody doing some crafting and seeing sort of their process, and then when you see it all go together at the end, it just looks so good to see it all, you know, finished, and how they came to the finishing stages. And this has already got the sewn look because that was in the already as it came in the kit. This is an Artymaze kit. So yeah, so I like that. If I get, because I've just used glue stick, if I get some bits, I think I'll just go back in the edge. Where's my dry? Just to make sure this is well and truly stuck down these edges. That's it, because because I'm not gluing this one, I'm not sewing this one. So just really make sure that is very stuck down around my ends, all of it. I didn't have my mat, so I maybe didn't get quite round the edges as much as I should have done. But this glue just grabs everything, so I like to go back in and just make sure. I usually use a combination of glues when I'm doing something like this anyway, so I just like to get the middle bit stuck down first and then just check the edges are. You always go back in and do it again when you've finished. So yeah, I like that, but I'm not going to cut this. I'm just going to, if I can always never get just, got a tear roller somewhere, you know. I'm pretty sure it'll be in here. Oh, actually, oh, everything's just collapsed. I've just knocked all my plastics off. Actually, I could maybe just use my tape roller. Yeah, quite like that. I forget sometimes what I've got. I get that much equipment, and as I say, I've been tidying up. I don't know by how much I want this round it. I'm going to again refer to my page before I do any more, or think if I'm going to do that. This is going to be a bit difficult now. I've just already torn this off, so I want that there. I'll have to peel this back a little bit. How not to do it, Lena, how not to do it. I'd just forgotten about my tear ruler. Right, let me just start the process here just so I can peel it back. That's better. And then I just want a little bit more. Again, start the process. More. Just fiddle with it until you get it where you actually want it. That's it. And again, I want to do the same again. I don't know what you do with little bits like this. I don't save them if I'm not going to use them straight away. I should just get thousands and thousands of little tiny bits of paper, but if I'm going to use them straight away, sometimes I like to just keep them. So I just had a thought. So I'm just checking which way up my papers are. Which way up this is. Nope, it is that way. Just check you have got them the right way up, because when you separate them like this, it is so easy to do this. Actually, I'm just looking at that. I don't think that really matters. No, it is that way up. I'm just checking, just making sure it is the right way up before I go trundling through and do anything else. Yeah. So let's have a look. So we decided I was going to look at this one, and you see I love that with that bit of paper around the edge. I do love that. And it's quite big on that page, but you don't have to put a tag in that is part of this kit, you know, you could put something else in. You could just use it for, I just thought there was one there that's, you know, because that's quite, you know, it's quite big on that page, and you have to be careful it's not bulky. But another thing I like to do is I do a lot of collecting, so when I'm doing a big one like this, I tend to use it to put receipts and things in, or, you know, little bits in. I don't always put another tag in, so if you're giving this to somebody else, you can just put some little bits in for them to decorate up or whatever. Because I do a lot of them for myself, I tend to put something like that and then leave it for me to put all my collectible bits in. But again, I'm just going to ink this up because I just want to see what it does. So that was really simple. That was really easy. Nothing major. Just really wanted to turn the camera on while I was doing it, and I just love that on that background. Lovely autumn colours coming through. I just think that is wonderful. So that will go there. As I say, I'm not doing it at the moment. It's just making the tags to see what I'm going to do. This is the other side, so I wanted to do something different in here. I don't know. I just have this. I just love this with this stag. Just got a bit of, when I get on my post, if there's any bits of the envelope, you see it's really ratty, if there's any bits of the envelope, I always tear them apart. If, you know, if they're not in full form and I can use them in full form, I tear them apart and use them. I do like that. So how big does this want to be? Let's have a look. Again, if you do it like this, you can get your exact size. So I wanted to get the word deer in there. So I think if I just, let's have a look. So if I work with this, I don't need this now. I can have this out my way. Let's move this out. Do you know, I've got no room. I was lovely and tidy, and then I'm in a mess again. I'm in a real mess. So let's just tear that down to that and go right over to there, so it gives us a bit more space, and just tear this off. That's it. And then I'm going to take that out of my way. And then, because you know the deers are about in autumn, aren't they? They're getting ready to be about for Christmas. And I mean, we don't get, you know, we don't live in a place where you get lots of deer. I mean, it's a very rare sight, and it's an exciting sight if you see a deer running through the fields, and occasionally they run on the road and frighten you half to death. Apart from the fact that you're frightened they're going to hurt themselves, they do startle us a bit if they come up, because we're not used to them. Well, not in my part of the country. You do get them, and you get warnings that they're in the fields, but you don't see them very often. So yeah, I do like that. Obviously I'll be tearing some of that edge off. So I'm just thinking, what am I going to do with this? I like that. So look at these lovely autumn colours on this. I want to do a bit of that. Oh, look what we've got here. We've got a gorgeous autumn leaf. Let's have a bit of this. This was one that's it's a lovely napkin, this, all autumny things, pheasants and all the different birds and all the different nuts from the trees. I love it. maybe I'll put some of that. I want to keep the word deer. And oh, we'll have to have some horse chestnuts. I'll have to have some, as we call them, conkers. We've got a massive great big conker tree just up the road from us, and it always, when autumn came, it was always one of the things. It's one of the things I really miss now my children are grown up. Can't wait to do it with my grandson. Go conquering on the tree just up the road from us. It's in the middle of the road, it's not in anybody's driveway, but we have got a couple of people that have got them at the end of the driveway, and they do collect them and leave them out for the children. I think that's really lovely. I don't know whether they still do. I don't even know if the lady still lives there, but she used to do. If she saw you looking for them on the edge of the path, she'd come out with a bag of them. Yes, I just want to... I have got the glaze on the outside, but I forgot to put to just ink around the edges. I think it still should take it okay, so I'm just doing that now. Getting some vintage photo just around those edges, just where they're just a little bit white on the edge of the where I've torn around the edges. So let's just do this. Well, this could be a belly band, which is what I think I'm going to use it as, but it could be a bookmark too, which I love bookmarks. I love putting a bookmark in my journal, especially when I'm going on holiday, because then I write all the books down that I've used on that particular holiday and where I've got to, in like you would with a bookmark, and then keep that in with that, so I know on that particular holiday what books I read. But yeah, so I like that one, and that might just need cutting down a little bit just to fit in the actual page. But yeah, and I know what page that's going on, so I know that's going to fit perfectly, and it's going to look lovely. If your pages are more neutral, then you don't have to be quite so mindful about, you can do quite a lot at once. But I was just a bit weary. Now I've got these, I can make the rest with this sort of in mind, and I'm not going to go far wrong. So yeah, so this is the other one I did. I have just used a bit of vintage photo around the edge, and I really like that. And then these are some of the masterboards. I'm going to have a go with these now and see if I can finish these off. So this is some of the bits that I've made in the past, and I've brought out the most appropriate ones. Some of them are almost finished, some of them aren't. Some of them need quite a bit of work. That one's floating about, I haven't done anything with that. What I've done, because as I've said before, my pages in this journal I'm using are quite busy, and I want them all to be on the same, you know, even though I'm making a lot up front, and I'm not actually putting them in places. I've chose a few places, like I know I want this one here, and I know I want this one here on this particular page, but the rest of the ephemera that I make, I'm going to make with this sort of backing in mind, so that's why I've just brought it out. I like the look of just covering this and putting this in here, so that might be what I'm doing. But what I'm going to do today is I'm going to work through some of these pieces, this being one of them. It's on quite thick card, it was just like a masterboard, and I look like I've done both sides of the masterboard. This just looks like a bit of packing paper and some line paper that's been coffee dyed, and this has got some gesso on it on that side, or that piece of it has, and then this side's just got bits of everything, but I thought this could be quite nice for autumn. The thing with when you do a masterboard, when you're doing collage and you're doing a big piece, once you cut it up it looks completely different. So I've no idea what would, but I mean that's quite a big piece, but I mean it was a really big masterboard. I wish I'd taken a photograph of it really, because I don't know what else was on here. Whether I've just done it like, oh, I don't know, because it was on the masterboard, so I don't know. I was going to say that might have been because it was for writing on, but I don't know. That's just how it's worked out. Anyway, I'm going to work with that. So I'm just going to look at these ones that I've got in front of me. I've also found this, I think it might be a freebie from either Artymaze or Shabbydabbydoodah. I'll have to have a look and see which freebie it is. I've only just covered it. It was just white paper, and I've just covered it because I fancy putting that in there on that page, because I think that looks really nice. I'm going to make it into a little booklet, and I'm going to leave that just nearby so I know what I want to put on here. So I don't think there'll be a lot going on there. This one's almost complete, but it's just half falling off. And the other thing I want to do with this one, it's going to be a pocket, but I've done this, say, a long time ago, and I've done it on some green mapping by the look of it, some paper, and it would be quite nice in probably a traveller's book, but for this occasion I don't want the map showing. So because I've already sewn round it, and in a previous time, I think this was when I first, these were from when I first started, and I just watched videos and played about, and then I've never used them. I thought, I've got to start using them. There's just loads of them. So this, I possibly wouldn't have done it quite like this. I would have used something a bit more appropriate there if it was going to show. I mean, I wouldn't say, you can see it's a map, and some people might like that, but on this journal I don't want that. So I'm going to start with this one and just try and do something with it. Just stick it down a bit first and see if there's anything else I can put on it. And I'm drawn to these things, these little bits that I cut off for some reason. I just think I need one of these on, and I don't know why. I did think about putting them down these sides, but they go in the wrong way, and they don't look right. I've tried it and it just didn't look right. Oh, and the other thing was I didn't want the word deceased in there, so that was why I didn't use that. I'm just looking. That actually could go down there. If I just ink that up, I could put that down there. It's just for some reason I just kept those little bits and thought, well, they'll go in somewhere. I don't know where, but they'll go in somewhere. So let's just try and ink it up. That's not the word deceased, it is. I don't want that. Disappropriate, that's not too bad. I can maybe cover that bit up. It's just obviously a dictionary bit that I tore off. So I've just inked it up. It looks a little bit more in keeping with what I'm doing, and I think I'm just going to put that down there. So that's just the first piece. You won't see the back of this. Oh, this has got all glued up again and all sticky, so it needs to go in boiling water again to get all the glue out. So I'm just using it as a lid at the minute. I'm just using the main. There's not very much of this left. I've almost finished this one, but it has lasted me forever, this pot of glue. I think quite expensive, but disappropriate. That can go on there, and then I'll just put something on that bit. Yep. So that's just, I just feel better with something like that on there. And then I've got these. I like them to be, on this occasion I need this to be flat. So I think I'm just going to put that right up to the edge like that. Yeah, I think I am. Just going to put that up to the edge, and then I can take that bit off. So it'll go over the fabric a little bit. I love this fabric. I don't know why this green's my favourite colour. and I don't know where this green fabric has come from. I don't know whether it was just a little square. I don't think I have a lot of it. I think it was probably just one of these little fat quarters that you get. I'm quite disappointed because I really like it. Right, I don't know whether it's been sewn down, but I'm just wondering if I can get that under there. Maybe a little bit. And then I'll just rub this down so that it doesn't... Now I don't know how well that is going to stick on here because it's onto fabric. And because I love this for paper, but as an all-rounder, I love Fabri-Tac. I'm just going to ink this little bit up here and just put this bit over that word disappropriate. And just sort of put that there like that. Yeah, I'm going to do that. Do you know, it's real cold when I came in here earlier, and I've got my cardigan on now and I'm boiling hot. So, sun's shining. It's an autumny day. We're well into autumn. It's an autumny day, but it's sun's shining in here and it's quite warm. Oh, Oscar's pottering in and out. He's heard me talking. Hello, darling. Hello, have you come back to see me? Well, that's good of you. That's nice of you. You're going to sit with Mummy now? He's right next to my feet because he can hear me talking and he's thinking, well, I don't know what he's thinking, but he always seems to come when he hears me talking because he thinks there's somebody here, is my interpretation of his mannerisms. If I'm quiet, he's quite happy to just go lay in the window and get a bit of sun on him. He loves to go in the window. The only trouble is if he goes in the window and anybody goes past, he has to talk to them. And he's got a very loud piercing bark when he wants to have. He was trying to tell me something last night and he was getting very frustrated with himself. He'd just been outside and he'd been fed and he'd had a chew and everything he does at night, and he just wouldn't give up. He just, oh, and he'd got fresh water, he'd got everything, nothing I could think of different. Anyway, I just said to my husband, well, I said, and he sits, he knows when he wants my attention, he sits on the puffy that's next to the settee where I sit, and if he sits there I can't watch the TV, or you know, he's in the way of where I've put all my craft stuff. So I know when he does that, he's desperate for something. He wants something, but you don't know what he wants. I want a bit of something on here, but I don't know. I don't really think I want much more. I might leave that just as it is for now because I don't want, I love that green and I don't want to put much more on it and then spoil it. So I'm going to leave that. Now I want to look at this one next, and as I say, this is going in here, so I want something on here. I've just found one of these. I do quite like that. I've got a load from Shabbydabbydoodah just at the side of me here, and I'm just looking if there's any pieces that I like. These. I like that little bit there. I want something that goes with the butterflies. I'm just having a look. I do like that because I think that colouring just goes nice. I like this piece with the bit of black off here in this. I want something in the background there. I'm just looking. I don't want anything too big to cover it all. I'm just looking what we've got in smaller pieces. Or I could tear one up. piece there, quite like that. So that's got the same backing in there. I don't know, I just like a bit of this. It was the top piece I was doing, not really the collaging, but I just seem to think where I've cut this down I've got too much of the music paper there, so I just want something else in the background first. And for some reason I just like this, so I'm going to just cut a bit of this down. I can still use that piece with the tag, but I liked a bit of this, so I'm going to cut that down again. Yeah, you don't have to use things just as, you know, even maybe as the artist intended, because they like to see what you do, I'm sure, when you change things, because we all have ways and means of changing things. I do like that, and I do think this squirrel is rather cute, but he's not cut out. He could be, but this is just a bit straight for me. Don't know though, if I cut it down it's going to be a bit small. I don't think my hands will tear it down enough. I ought to have done it while I was still on the big bit, didn't I? But I didn't. I do love this pattern on this black background. I love this. So again, this is from Shabbydabbydoodah kit. I'm going to break into that and I can use them bits. Maybe I won't keep them once I've done this if I don't find somewhere to use them in here. Now I don't know where to put it. I think I'm just going to put it there, I think, and I'm going to just do this with some Yoo-hoo. Is my board handy? Oh, you're alright, Oscar, I'm not moving yet. I was just looking for my glue board. I'll just move it out the way. You're alright, darling, I'm not interfering with you. I'm just moving for these. I'm not going to push you out the way. Don't know about that one. I do just like this squirrel, but then I want something in the background. I like that with the birds on. Can you see what I'm doing? I like that one with the birds on, but then I've got something else in mind for that. What about that? I think I like that. Yeah, I do. I like that, and I think in here, if I can find them without, what about, these are from the Artymaze kit. I might just try and cut out a stamp and one of these autumn labels. Let me just try that. I think I'm going to go with the green one. I'm just going to pop that back in there, and I'm just going to put one of these. I don't know whether I'm using it yet, but I'm going to get one ready to use. Where's my small scissors? Just to go around this. I find for fussy cutting I need smaller scissors just because I can control where they're going better, but smaller scissors have smaller grip for my hand and they really hurt my hand, so my scissors of choice are these beautiful big ones with the spring loaded, because then your hand just goes in there, it's not gripping anything, and your top hand goes over the top, and the fiskars Oh, and I've just treated myself to these. Oh, and you know, they're absolutely wonderful for anybody with bad hands. I'm not sponsored by anybody, that's just my find. I'm just sharing something that I found. Like these really hurt my hands. These, I'm just cutting these so I can cut out the shape of the stamp. That's just how I do the stamp edging. I couldn't fuzzy cut them little bits, so that's how I do them. That works for me. Yeah, so there are all my little bits. I think I might have to just fussy cut this. Just moving the bits out the way because I bet my desk looks a bit untidy. Let me just move things. You can't always see what's going on, so I'll just move these out the way for this one. So I think again I'm going to try and do this for these. So they're a bit large for the really intricate bits, but they just don't hurt my hands. I can just move your paper rather than your scissors. It's easier to do. Leave a bit of black round his feet. But these are just wonderful, these. I've found I can do a lot more cutting out with them, because I was always finding that I didn't have enough cut out, and it wasn't a pleasure to do it because my hands were so sore. And you just move your paper, and it does work. So this is the only way I can find to do this, is just by moving your paper onto your scissors and just wiggle it about like this. It just takes, I've still got a bit of the black on, but it looks effective. So I'm going to put one of these on here, I think. I love the squirrel. Squirrel's going to have to go on there. And I think a bit of autumn. But I also love a bit of that stamp. So I think that is more or less what I'm going to go with. Put my scissors away. Let's have a look at that. I try to not spend too much time deciding what I'm doing at Sad Be Here Forever. I make a decision and then try to go with it, because otherwise, you know, especially if you're doing a lot in your journal, and because I'm not selling them, you know, I do swap and I do give them away. I am looking to open an Etsy shop at some point, but at the moment I haven't got a lot of time, so I don't want to be tied down to orders just yet. I'm not quite ready for that. So I'm just enjoying the process, and I think if I was selling them, I'd have to do them a lot different, because I'm actually working on them and doing bits that if I was purchasing one, I would then play with it. And I'm sort of making my journal and playing in it as well while I'm on the screen. That's why mine are quite, because I would probably just give that to somebody and a load of bits, and then they could decorate it how they wanted it, and I would leave the pages more like, you know, like this, and just let them decorate them, a lot of them themselves. That's what I'm thinking if I was making a journal, but because I'm making it for myself, I'm actually doing it to its finishing process, other than just, you know, when I'm writing it. But the playing bit I'm sort of doing as well. Right, I'm going to have that on there. I've got that many glues in front of me, I'm not sure which glue I'm using. I'm actually showing you what I'm doing. Hoping I haven't got too much shadow in here. I've just realised I want that under there. So let me just pull that back. I mean, it's a good job I didn't do that with, that's the thing, that's why I'm using this glue, is because if I need to move things about, I can with the glue stick. If I'd have used this one, the art glitter glue, you don't get a lot of time to move anything. It's wonderful to grip, but you have to be sure it's where you want it to go. Right, I'm not sure which way up I want that. So let's pull you back a little bit more. I want you on the page but at an angle. That's it. So I like that. I think he's definitely going there, but he just needs some of these white edges disguised. He's very cute. And then I've got one of these plates. I do tend to mix and match my, you know, if I'm using a kit, I don't always use just one kit. I like to mix and match them, and then, you know, I know that other people's journals won't be exactly the same as mine, and, you know, they're unique to me, and I like them like that. So let's have a look, let's get this down. We'll have them both glued at the same time. That's quite a lot of glue on. I use a lot of glue. Paper's all over my desk. Right, so I like him. He's just going to go there. And Autumn's going to go up there. So that's just from a collaged backing sheet, and I've just changed that to fit in with this journal. So I've had these made for ages, and I just didn't want these to just not get used. I'm just going to do the edges a bit. You don't have to do this. You don't have to do anything, you do what you want. There's no particular rules, it's to suit what you like. And the main thing is, and I can't emphasise this enough, that you get pleasure from what you do. You don't let it stress you. It needs to be, just doing it a little bit in there, it needs to be pleasurable. It needs to be something you enjoy doing. And that, I just think that there looks really nice on that background, but it would go on any of the pages because they're all this sort of colour scheme now. I've worked with the original ones that were very heavy and dark, so you know, if I'm working to this background now with what I'm doing, everything should look okay. You know, that looks perfect in there. That could just go in there. Because it's not too busy, it's nice, it would want back in. But this one here, I do definitely want to put that in there, and I do think that looks really nice. I've picked the green up on here, and then I've got the black, and this was a bit of a vintage back cover for a, you know, the sofas in the vintage era, and what I've done is I've just photocopied this. And I just think those rich colours there just fit in with this lovely. But I say that was on originally on the back, and it's just where I've cut that, so you never know what you're going to get when you use a masterboard. But I like that. I mean, I've done collage sheets for a long time, but I didn't know they were called masterboards. I just did them to play with and didn't cut them up into things because I didn't really know what to do with them. I just made them because I thought collaging is something I enjoy doing, but I had no idea what I was going to do with them. So I had loads of them, and they're not all really suitable. Some of them I've gessoed over and painted over because they didn't really fit in with, you know, things I want to do now, because it was in the really early days. But you know, I was determined I wasn't going to throw them away, so I sort of did like a mixed media spread with them. You know, put gesso on and made them a mixed media spread of them, and then as long as they were on in my designs, as long as they didn't have anything on them that was you know, copyright, which some of them were, so I couldn't do that, couldn't photocopy them, but now I can use them. But at the time I didn't know how to use them, so I just left them. But I've gone through them, and any that was just my work, then, you know, obviously you can copy them. Just giving this a bit more. Now I do quite like that as it is. I'm just going to put some papers in there. So I need some papers. What are these? Yeah, so they're just about, oh yeah, they're just about right, but I don't want all the same paper, so I've got some more here, but it's too big. And I've actually folded this over already. So if I do that with this one and fold this, let me have a look at what size I want this. Let's just give that a good crease. Right, I'm going to move this just out of the way because we know what we're working to now. I'm just going to move that out of the way. Give me a bit more room. It doesn't matter if these, or not to me, it doesn't matter if these papers are different lengths. On this occasion they look like they're all going to be nearly the same. Wrong ruler. I wanted my, oh, it's here, it's next to me, it hasn't been put back in the box. Let's just I had it on a fold, didn't I? That's what I was doing. I wanted the folded edge. Oh, gosh, what a wally. What a wally Walter, as I say to my grandson. So that is going in there. I just want a bit of this edge off. I'm drying some papers on top of my recycle bag, and I've just thrown those on top of my lovely papers. It's just that the recycle bag's the nearest thing to me. I can hear Oscar snoring, but I don't know where he is. He must be right under my table. Right. So, yeah, I think that's all I'm going to do with those. So that's just made a nice little booklet there. And I am going to sew them in. Just a little bit like a signature, I think, on these. I think if I can find my equipment quick enough, I can. Yes, I've just sewn that signature in. Just sewn those papers in and made it like a little signature. And I might put a charm on there, and then it'll fit in I'm not quite sure where it's going to fit, but something like that probably in one of the pockets. So, thank you very much for watching, and I'll be back to you shortly. In the meantime, take care. Be back to you soon. Bye.